Hello there, welcome back to our English Test Preparation channel. If you are new here, my name is Hugh and I am from the academic team at TAFE. We provide the Duolingo English Test and PTE academic practice websites for students across the world to prepare for the tests right at their home affordably and effectively. So today I'm going to focus on PTE academic content, and as usual I will be sharing tips and strategies for one particular item type, and today it is for part 3, highlight incorrect words. And then I offer you several practicing questions so you can apply our tips immediately into practice and learn to see if it is possible for you to get a higher score or not. We have shared lots of videos to help you deal with all the item types, and of course there are article versions for your reading as well. So if you like anything, you can refer to the description section and then just choose a link that you like to explore first. And in this video again, I will take you to our PTE practice platform, and then I guide you a step by step to deal with part 3, highlight incorrect words. So now no more talking, let's get started. Okay, here I am in the PTE practice platform. So now I'm going to access the practice site, and I choose part 3 listening, and then I choose part 3 highlight incorrect words. I'm going to pick the question number 0001, and then I do it for you to see, and also guide you on how to utilize our strategy of 3 simple steps to deal with this question type successfully. And now let's get started. Okay, we have this one 10 seconds of preparation, and then after 10 seconds the audio starts as well as the timer begins. Alright, and you can see that we have 1 minute here to do this question type. But you may wonder, why do we have this 60 seconds to deal with one part 3 highlight incorrect words in the PTE academic, while in part 3 listening we have from 30 to 43 minutes to deal with all the 8 item types? You are correct, because it is based on our research that we decide to give it a particular amount of time for you to practice and master how to deal with each question type. So on your test day, you will be facing all question types very easy. And our research is based on 3 elements. The first one is the type of the question. The second, the length of the question. And the last one, the question diversity as well as frequency. So I leave the link in the description for you to read the time management strategy for all the question type. Why do we have that amount of time? And then you can continue our video, or you can just watch our video until the end and read the time management strategy later. Alright, I'm going to share with you our strategy of 3 simple steps right now. The very first step is to read the text. I mean to skim through the passage in our 7 to 8 seconds. Why not 10? Because we need to use the second 2 or 3 seconds for later. So in this very first step, we're going to utilize 7 or 8 seconds to skim through the passage, right? You may ask, how could we skim through the whole passage within 7 or 8 seconds? Because skim through means that we read the text very quickly. You just read like this, you move your cursor and read to see what is the subject is talking about, and you may get some general content of it. It is okay if you cannot get the general content, because the next step will save the day. But let me tell you something about this. We read the text, we read the passage in order to utilize every single second we have in the PTE academic, because it is truly vital. If you can just get the subject, what is the text is talking about, and if you have a wonderful reading skills, I also leave some links in the description for you to improve your reading skills as well. We all know that besides practicing on the PTE practice platform, we all need to improve our general skills on a daily basis to increase our probability of securing our desired scores. So if you read it fast, you will get to know that this passage is talking about ChatGPT and how it can help us to make better decisions. The second thing that you need to bear in mind is that you should not stress out, because the point in this step is to skim through the passage, and whether you can get a general idea or not, it doesn't matter. You just need to know to get the subject out of the text. That's it. It will be helping you a lot in the next 2 steps. Alright? Back to our 10 preparation seconds. Why do we say that we just need 7 and 8 seconds to skim through, and the rest 2 to 3 seconds we use it to take a deep breath. Taking a deep breath in the last 2 or 3 seconds in the preparation time is really essential to help you stay more focused, because if you do take a deep breath, you allow more air to go through your brain. That is just like a drug to help you stay focused immediately on the text. And because the next step, while listening to the audio, you will need to move the cursor, and moving the cursor is the key saver to deal with this question type. For example, this is my cursor, right? And while listening to the audio right here, I move my cursor like this, and if I listen to any word that is different from the audio, I click it immediately. For example, this word, support. Perhaps in the audio it says something, yes, I can help you in management decisions by analyzing information facts. So the word support is different from the real word is help. Therefore, I will immediately click this word. But make sure that after clicking the word, you move your cursors again. Perhaps if you just think too much, you just lose your 1 second of concentration, immediately the audio will play until this word, and then you may be missing a lot of incorrect words in this time. Therefore, pay attention the whole time while listening to the audio is the key, besides moving your cursor to ensure that you do not miss any incorrect words. But if you do, so let's move to our next step. Step 3, read the passage again to identify any missing words that you haven't determined in the previous steps while listening to the audio. And in these steps, there are 2 signs that you need to pay attention to. The first one is any wrong contextual meaning, and the second one is any unreal word. For example, in this case, I know a fact that this word, idea, is a wrong contextual meaning, because this passage is talking about ChatGPT and how it helps us to make better decisions. You can see in the preparation time that we utilized 7 or 8 seconds to identify the subject, and then what is the text is talking about the subject, right? So we know it is about ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is the model of OpenAI. It is not an idea, therefore the idea is a wrong contextual meaning in this case. We should use model instead. And the second example is here, ideologic. Do you think this is a real word? I don't think so. I know a word, ideological, this one. I know a fact that this is a real word because I have heard of it countless times in the past. But I haven't heard of this one, ideologic. If I miss this one while listening to the audio, I read the passage again, and based on the 2 sides, the wrong contextual meaning as well as the unreal words, so you may identify these words as well. Everything is a skill, and this is a skill that you can improve over time. This is a skill that you can improve through everyday practice. So make sure that you pay attention to our guide and then put it into use. You can practice on our PTE practice platform with thousands of practice questions to improve your skills to deal with each question type. So that is basically the 3 simple steps that I'm going to share with you. Before I get back to do one simple question for you to see of how I apply these 3 steps into the real questions, there are 2 things that you need to avoid. The first one is to take notes. There is no time for you to take notes. The audio plays only once in every question. you need to pay over 100 attention to that audio in order to identify incorrect words. So if you just write the notes on your paper or you use the digital note-taking features, there is no time for you to determine incorrect words, and then the audio is just playing and then it reaches to the end. So it turns out that you cannot identify any incorrect words. So please do not use the note-taking features while facing this question type. And the second one is that student pick unsure words. If you are not sure about any word, just skip it, do not pick. As in the PTE Academic Part 3 highlight incorrect words. If you pick unsure words and then it turns out to be not a correct answers, then you will be deducted scores. So please pay attention, really close attention to the text, and if you know the word for sure, let's do that. And if you do not know it for sure, skip it. Alright, so here I am. I will be taking one sample question and then apply the 3 steps for you to see in the real question. And then you have several questions to practice on your own. So make sure that you read the text, alright?
If you look at the places where affirmative action has been prohibited, at states where it's been prohibited, Michigan, California, you'll see a sharp decline in the numbers of African American students present in the public university system. So I worry a great deal about the future of higher education. I think it's telling that the Supreme Court, listening to the pleas from the Solicitor General of the United States, did not overturn affirmative action in the military academies, West Point, Annapolis, and so forth. The Solicitor General argued that affirmative action was essential to establishing a diverse officer corps and that a diverse officer corps is essential to the safety of the nation, as we learned when it was not diverse in Vietnam.
Okay, it is pretty challenging here and I am not sure if this is a correct word or not. Perhaps, hopefully, I got it right. Okay, so this is not correct. This is actually the correct word in the passage, but I think it was an incorrect word, so I picked it. However, it turned out to be an incorrect option. Cups. I heard cups, but perhaps, yeah, I thought at that time I thought it could be some other words. However, you know, the overall result is not bad. I got 7 out of 7 incorrect words. But there is one word I should not choose, right? So if you choose an incorrect word incorrectly, you will be deducted score like this one. I got all 7 words correctly, but I just get 85 scores. That is because I picked one incorrect word incorrectly. As you can see, so please pay really close attention to the text while listening to the audio and do not pick unsure words, right? Regarding our PTE process platform, we designed everything is similar to the real text and how it is scored. So you can utilize our feedback like this one to help you improve your skills. Right, I just completed one sample question for you to see. Now it's time for you to practice the next several questions. But please be in mind that this is a YouTube video, so there is no interactive thing right here. But if you'd like to practice on a live interactive PTE practice platform and then get instantly detailed feedback for your improvement, you can refer to our practice website right here and then create your free account to experience all the item types.
How much of your company's ad budget funds disinformation? You might believe the answer to be none. After all, most reputable brands don't actively seek to run ads alongside conspiracy theorists, white supremacists, and troll farms. Unfortunately, that's no guarantee. If you're not routinely auditing your programmatic ad buys or partnering directly with the websites you want to run ads on, it's highly likely that by default your brand is directly contributing to the disinformation economy. The global digital advertising industry is estimated to be $600 billion and growing. While Facebook and other social media sites are popular for advertising, much of the campaign spend dedicated to the internet is distributed across the open web, the millions of websites and apps available to us through a quick Google search.
It all started back in 2001. My first expedition was with a guy called Panhetto, enormously experienced chapter. This was like my polar apprenticeship. We were trying to ski from this group of islands up here, Severnaya Zemlya, to the North Pole. And the thing that fascinates me about the North Pole, geographic North Pole, is that it's slap bang in the middle of the sea. This is about as good as maps get. And to reach it you've got to ski literally over the frozen crust, the floating skin of ice on the Arctic Ocean. I'd spoken to all the experts. I'd read lots of books. I studied maps and charts. But I realized on the morning of day one that I had no idea exactly what I'd let myself in for.
Every new employee requires onboarding, but due to the complexity of the role, the process of introducing and integrating a CEO hired from the outside requires a unique approach. For more on onboarding CEOs, see After the Handshake, HBR, December 2016. In a family-controlled firm, the process must be especially bespoke, taking into account the unique dynamics between family employees, family and non-family board members, outside investors, other non-family executives, as well as the family's goals for the company, which may include more focus on community stakeholders, or stability of dividends, or the concerns of specific long-time customers, than a publicly owned company.
It depends on the individual person. What one's particular health status is, their activity level, and what else they have consumed that day. But generally, it is safe for everyday consumption. Benson explains, olive oil can fit well into daily intake. The recommended amount of olive oil to consume per day can vary based on individual dietary needs, overall diet, activity level, and health status. A general guideline is to consume about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil daily. This amount is associated with health benefits, such as reduced inflammation and a lower risk of heart disease.
Real estate marketplace Zillow has launched a new program to help people who want to buy homes but are being squeezed out of the market by a surge in interest rates. Zillow Home Loans is offering mortgages with a 1% down payment option for eligible homebuyers looking to own property in Arizona, and will contribute an additional 2% at closing, the company said Thursday. It also plans to expand the program to other markets. For those who can afford higher rent payments but have been held back by the upfront costs associated with homeownership, down payment assistance can help to lower the barrier to entry and make the dream of owning a home a reality, Zillow Home Loans senior macroeconomist Orphy Devangi said in a statement.
That is my first love, and that's what I'll tell you a little bit about. What I want to do more generally is to get you thinking about the place of uncertainty and randomness and chance in our world, and how we react to that, and how well we do or don't think about it. So you've had a pretty easy time up till now, a few laughs, and all that kind of thing, in the talks to date. You've got to think, and I'm going to ask you some questions. So here's the scene for the first question I'm going to ask you. Can you imagine tossing a coin successively? And for some reason, which shall remain rather vague, we're interested in a particular pattern. Here's one, a head, followed by a tail, followed by a tail.
And I've since then tried to keep technology at arm's length in many ways, so it doesn't master my life. At the same time, I run a website on cool tools, where I issue a daily obsession of the latest things in technology. So I'm still perplexed about what the true meaning of technology is as it relates to humanity, as it relates to nature, as it relates to the spiritual. And I'm not even sure we know what technology is. And one definition of technology is that which is first recorded. This is the first example of the modern use of technology that I can find. It was the suggested syllabus for dealing with the applied arts and science at Cambridge University in 1829.
So here's a picture of what we're doing. The patients who have a migraine preceded by an aura have a band of excited neurons, that's shown in red, that moves at 3 to 5 millimeters a minute towards the midbrain. And when it hits the midbrain, that's when the headache begins. There's this migraine that is preceded by a visual aura, and this visual aura, by the way, and I'll show you a picture, but it sort of begins with little dancing lights, gets bigger and bigger until it fills your whole visual field. And what we tried was this. Here is a device called the Cadwell Modems 10. Weighs about 70 pounds, has a wire about an inch in diameter. And here's one of the patients who has an aura and always has a headache, bad one, after the aura.
Retailer Target admitted during its second quarter earnings call last week that backlash from its Pride collection this year contributed to lower sales than expected. Despite the negative reaction by some for this year's campaign, Target, which has supported Pride Month in stores for more than 10 years, declared its commitment to continue to support the LGBTQ+ community and Pride Month moving forward. While we'll need to wait and see how Target's promised modifications play out in practice, there is one big caution for Target and other brands as it relates to supporting marginalized communities, particularly during Heritage Months.
Since 2009, the population has fluctuated between 83 and 123 wolves. As of January this year, there were at least 108 wolves in the park, spread across 10 packs. The wolves generally mate in February and give birth to an average of 4 to 5 pups in April. Litters are weaned from milk when they reach 5 to 9 weeks old, at which point adult wolves begin bringing them food from hunts for another 3 months. While not all pups survive through their first winter, wolves within the GI generally enjoy a longer lifespan of 4 to 5 years, as opposed
Over 40 America's Got Talent acts are left to compete for a slot in the September finale, after fan votes axed 9 acts in the first live show. The 2 acts that captured America's heart the most were Lavender Darkangelo and Adrian Stoico in Hurricane. All remaining contestants will be broken into groups of 11 for a chance to be crowned one of the 2 live show winners over the next month. Mitch Russell, Bryn Cummings, Alexandr Lishchenko and Magic Innovation, Lambros Garcia, Maureen Langan, Sainted True Villains, John Wines, and Ray Wold were all eliminated on Wednesday night show, according to NBC Insider.
If you are new to the PT Academic, it's okay. I also leave the 5 preparation steps in the description, so go check it out and learn from the beginning. You will be able to secure your scores with that simple strategy. And I will be seeing you in the next videos.